Mr. Bréγκοβιτς, thank you very much for being here with us in CNN Greece. What inspires you most?
I'm a professional composer. This is what I do. So I don't see reason to any special arrogancy. Someone is teacher, someone makes shoes, someone is policeman, someone is soldier. So I work like everybody else. I try to work 8 hours a day, and inspiration is like, I don't know, like toothpaste. You must have time to press it if you want that something comes out. So I just work, I don't know.
What's your biggest fear?
Well, my biggest fear that I'm not gonna left behind too many bad music, that my kids will be ashamed of me one day. So I hope that I will have time to write some decent music still.
Do you afraid the moment that you will become less productive, or this is something that you will seek?
Well, I really don't know. You know, you just sit and work, and you don't wait. I know that people imagine composers they're on piano waiting for sunrise or sunset, and then muse comes on the shoulder, and then fantastic. No, you just there, and it comes out. This is how it goes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Be that man.
Let's go back in time. You studied philosophy. Can you describe me the transition between the study halls and the rock concert halls?
I studied philosophy in communist times, and in these times when you finished philosophy, you became officially professor of Marxism. So on the last year of university, I did my first record, and luckily I became rock star. I was big rock star in my country, luckily, because I avoid to be teacher of Marxism, to be professor of Marxism.
With Croatian father and Serbian mother, you raised in a city with Muslims, Christians and Jews. How did this affect your career and your personal life?
I think, I don't know, I have new record out called 3 Letters from Sarajevo that is really about that. I think if you are from Sarajevo, I think maybe everyone from Sarajevo will make this record, 3 Letters from Sarajevo, but I'm composer, they are not. So this is, I'm doing this in the name of them. It's small town with symptoms of big town. So I'm already born with one Frankenstein of music, with the influences of, I don't know, Jewish wedding music and Orthodox funeral music. So it's mixture of, so my music is always little Frankenstein of things. You can feel it that it sometimes is well glued, sometimes less well, but it's always little Frankenstein.
As child of war that you've been, how do you find Europe's decision to refugees crisis and Greece's reaction to refugees?
I found this a little bit anti-historical. If you look, imagine this world without immigrants from Greece, or without immigrants from Italy, or even from Syria. They said that that family of Gates came from Syria, so we wouldn't have iPhone. So it's one, I think, anti-historical fear. This civilization is civilization of immigrants. Of course, they will come and probably bring something, but probably take something. But this is what it's all about. This civilization cannot be without immigrants.
Do you consider justified the discontent of some countries regarding the refugees crisis?
Well, I think it's very complex in this world, emigrants. But I mean, this world solved even more difficult problems, so it will solve even immigrants' problem. I know that I think it's difficult for Greece and Italy, probably because they are on the front line. But the rest of the Europe, they cannot survive without fresh people. Who will take care of electricity, water? Because they don't want to do anymore these jobs. They soon will not do even doctor's job or dentist's job. This is something that has new people come to do it. So it's necessary to find the way how to integrate this new world, because obviously in 21st century we will learn how to live together. My 3 letters from Sarajevo is just about that, because I try to use 2 metaphors. Sarajevo as a metaphor, because what we saw nowadays, we saw in Sarajevo in 90s, that we can be today good neighbors and day after shoot to each other just because we are from different religions. And then another, it's actually one violin concerto, because violin is played in 3 main manners. Christian, classical, how we play classical music. Klezmer, how Jews play, which is a little different technique. And Muslim technique, which is how the Muslims on the Orient play, which is completely different technique.
Da partigiano, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, 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 e se io muoio da partigiano, tu mi devi seppellire e seppellire lassù in montagna. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, 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 e seppellire lassù in montagna sotto l'ombra di un bel
Populism is again on the rise in Europe. Why do you think, and where are the roots this time?
Well, if you look from Karl Marx in 19th century, we had like 3 industrial revolutions. And still the last new political idea is Karl Marx. So there is something abnormal in this world. There is the only thing that doesn't develop like technology is political science. So this world is stuck. We know now statistically that 1% of human beings own 19% of wealth of planet Earth. So what stands between this 99% and this 1%, that this 99% not slaughtered this 1%? Religion and democracy. And as Chomsky said, if democracy could change something, it will be forbidden already long time ago. So we are stuck in one moment where there is no new ideas. And this world desperately needs some new ideas. If not, we will come back, we go back in time in one world that is technologically booming. Everything is booming, and we are stuck with old political ideas.
You visit Greece very often,
Yes.
and you have quite a few collaborations with Greek artists such as Alkis Potopsalti, Yorgos Dallaras. What attracts you in Greece?
Oh, it's you know, when I heard that sometimes Greeks are, lamenting and complaining, it's you are lucky to be born in one of the most beautiful countries in the world. It's so easy to be in love in Greece. I had the luck to spend some time here to produce some records and to play concert on. I had one whole tour with symphonic orchestra, just ancient Greek amphitheater, and it's you are just in the middle of beauty. So I like to be in Greece, and then this is the music that I like. It's Rambetiko is one of my main sources. I like to imagine who are the people who are listening Rambetiko. It's just people who have a time. They don't rush. You just have your little hashish and you listen long intros before someone starts to sing. And this is how I imagine the living in this world. Not Japanese idea that we have to rush over. Slowly, we have time for one intro before the melody comes.
Well, except if you live in Athens.
Well, even Athens change in direction that is, but still Greek, they have this balance between doing nothing and working, which is very important for Balkan culture. If we don't have time to waste, there is no reason to work. What is the sense?
Can you share with us a story that gave birth to one of your songs?
Well, when I was rock star, we always had one gypsy brass band to play for us in the dressing room. And there is always capo of orchestra when it comes strong moment of playing, like fortissimo. It said "Yurish," which is word. It's aera. It's charge. This is what the soldier says on the beginning of action. So this is how it comes on my probably most famous song, Kalashnikov, that I start with aera, with Yurish, with charge.
What's the origin of gypsy pop music?
It's difficult to say what is gypsy music. It's because gypsies, it's not like you said what influenced you. Gypsy has to survive with music. If they want to have a bread for the kids, they must be modern. So they always adapt on the places where they are because their money comes from the wedding, from funerals. So there is nothing to do, I don't know, Indian gypsy music with British gypsy music, or French gypsy music with Turkish gypsy music, or with Balkan. So it's the only thing which is in common is this unexplainable gypsy talent of playing music.
From where do you rise your interest for gypsies?
Oh, I'm not the first and last composer who was impressed by gypsy talent. You will find in classical music big composers that dedicate their music to some works to the gypsies. Or all of them, they were fascinated by gypsy talent. You know, if you play with gypsies, it's always little miracle that happens. There is always. It's not like when you play with somebody else.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that internet helps or undermines your contact with your fans?
Of course, it helps because I'm never on TV. My songs, they are not played on radio. So if you imagine that I have audience in Siberia, in Iceland, in New Zealand, or I don't know, Macau, very far away places, it's just because of internet. Because if you are naive if you think that everything happened on TV or on YouTube. There is completely parallel world of curious people who will find even more weird composers than I am.
And how much has cinema influenced your career, and especially the director Emir Kusturica?
Well, I did my first movie, Time of Gypsies, for friendship. I was a big rock star in that moment. Rock stars, they don't do music for the film. There's not enough money or enough glory for composers. So I did for friendship. And then war starts, and I had golden record in 10 countries. So they start to propose me to make movies. So actually my whole career of movie composer is during the war. I did like 25 movies during the war in France, in England, in Germany. And so this is how I have a reputation of movie composer, but I'm not good movie composer. My music is too aggressive, too melodic, very little illustrative. So even nowadays I imagine that I'm doing soundtracks, but there is no movie for my soundtrack. Those are the soundtracks for the movies in my head. I had the luck to did few movies that doesn't need real movie composer. But I'm not good for industry. just I'm not good. And I'm not interested, honestly. You know, life is short and I don't want to waste my time with the movies. You know, I don't know, Morricone did hundreds. No, 300 or something movies. It's a waste of time of such a talented guy. He can put in biography 10 maximum. The rest is wasting of time. So when you are young, you think you have time to explore millions of possibilities. In a certain age, you understand that life is short and you will have time just to explore one possibility. So I'm not wasting my time.
Thank you very much for this interview.
Thank you, it was a pleasure.